A high-mobility, multi-purpose wheeled vehicle. Yes, it doesn't quite have a ring to it, which is why it was shortened to Humvee in the military environments where it showed its mettle. Created specifically for the US Armed Forces, the Humvee received plenty of publicity during Desert Storm, and in the early 90s a civilian version went on sale under the now familiar brand name Hummer. The vehicle has morphed quite a lot from the original H1. H2 saw it become longer and slimmer, taller and lighter, while the H3 offered a smaller, more consumer-oriented option. It's also the first Hummer to be built by General Motors itself. All the others were churned out by AM General Corporation, which built the original Humvee under a deal with GM. – 2006 signalled a landmark for both South Africa and General Motors here. The H3 was to be produced at a brand new plant in Port Elizabeth, not just for the local market, but also for export. To date, it's reached production in the region of 10,000 units a year. But as of a few weeks ago, the Hummer will cease to be produced in South Africa. The brand has been sold to a Chinese buyer, and production is set to be consolidated at a plant in the US. However, GMSA has said it will continue to service Hummers here and honour warranties. Whether that'll be enough to convince people to choose the brand over others in the market remains to be seen. It's a highly competent vehicle off-road that's seen it win favour in South Africa, despite its brash looks and reputation, or maybe because of it. It can rough and tumble with the best of them, and now there's a new, more powerful option available for those rugged weekends away. On the outside, there's not too much difference between your regular H3 and the new V8. The engine compartment's been modified to fit the new lump, and you'll notice a few V8 badges to denote the new model. But other than that, it's still the same aggressive Hummer presence and attitude. The distinctive 7-slot grille, rectangular windows and low glass-to-steel ratio make it unmistakably a Hummer. And there's no fence-sitting when it comes to its looks. The Hummer is distinctive and unique, and you either love it or you hate it. Sadly for GM, the timing of the launch of this new V8 humdinger could not have been worse. The announcement of the sale of Hummer and ceasing of production in South Africa comes on the back of its decision to pull some of its Opel brands out of the country. It's under fire, and now it's introducing a gas guzzler into a slowing market, supposedly concerned about all things green. In fact, the fuel consumption on the V8 Hummer is better than what we had in the Audi RS6. It's got a combined cycle claimed figure of just about 16, which is really not bad if you consider that it's a V8, 5 and something litres. That fuel gauge does go down quite quickly, but that all depends on how you drive it. And you can drive it, you really can, because it's got so much grunt. The top speed's only about 160 k's an hour, but if you can believe it, the 0 to 100 is 8.2 seconds. 8.2 seconds, that's insane. This car weighs 2 tons, more than 2 tons, and it's 8.2 seconds. Crazy. The auto gearbox takes about a year to change if you want to get some of that grunt, but driving on the open road, it's comfortable and a confident drive. The 5.3-litre V8 engine now gives you 224 kilowatts at 5,300 RPM. And 434 Newton meters of torque. You've also got a better steering system to handle all that power. And this is what the Hummer is all about in South Africa. Big, fat ego. All that fabulous off-roading ability on the Hummer with only a pavement to climb and a parking lot to look good in. But it does look good in the parking lot. It's got huge presence, big, bulky. It's actually quite a bummer to park. I have to admit, I was slightly more scared even in this than driving the Bentley, because it is so huge and bulky and you do feel quite nervous in parking lots. But it does have incredibly good visibility despite the skinny windows, and you have this fabulous reverse parking camera, which is very handy in parking lots. is an excellent road rage antidote because driving it you feel somewhat invincible. The high ride height and small windows make you feel costed and safe, although somehow despite the excuse for windows, you still get excellent visibility and a feeling of space. Luxuries like leather seats and an in-dash 6-disc CD changer leave you right at home. Available in luxury and adventure spec levels, the new V8 still feels quite basic for its half a bar price tag, but it actually fits really well with the whole vibe of the Brute. Space-wise, the back seats offer plenty of room and go down in a 60-40 split to reveal a 1,577-litre cargo space. Apart from being able to load more, you can now also tow more with the V8's towing capacity up to a decent 2,448 kilograms. The Adventure spec offers a different gearing ratio to the luxury, as well as electronically selectable front and rear locking differentials.
So here's the thing about a Hummer. It really takes a hell of a lot of flack for its looks. In fact, if you look at some of the blog posts, something on Wheels 24, someone said, oh, you can't drive a Hummer unless you actually have Chuck Norris posters on your wall. It's just quite funny. But for all its criticism, I really have liked the Hummer. It's my first experience in one, and it really has grown on me. But the ultimate question, I think, when it comes to the Hummer, particularly the H3 and the V8, is how you can possibly drive one without looking like a complete and utter plonker. Or as Morris would say, a tosser. In fact, I wish he was here because I think he might be able to prove that theory.